What's up, Elliot P viewers? I'm gonna be talking about how to unfuck Upstein because it's been on my mind recently. So I made a quick little Google Slides with shitty drawings for you guys. Um, okay, what is Upstein? Upstein is I didn't have an intro slide, so you're getting the intro on the title slide. Fuck it. Upstein is a dining hall at NYU. You order Upstein exclusively through Grubhub, which is fine. And it is probably the one of the few most popular dining halls at NYU. A lot of people eat there because it's pretty much the best dining hall. There's a lot of options. The food's pretty good. I like Upstein. I go to Upstein almost every day. I am experienced in the matter. But the problem with Upstein is it's fucked. There's a lot of problems with it. I've worked in a few kitchens in my life, and I feel like that gives me some credibility. And this is a very inefficient kitchen/restaurant design, and I want to talk about it because it annoys me every time I'm in there about how inefficient this is. So this is a very crudely drawn layout of Upstein. You can see on the left there's Vegcraft, which nobody really eats at. Global Eats, which is like you can see it's one of the two. That south end is the Chinese food, and then up top is Mexican. And then in the back you have Kluckstein, which is like fried chicken, Slidestein, which is sliders. They're real creative with the names. On the right, there's the fountain drink machines. Kiosks are kind of like bottom right. That's like they already have like Grubhub open. You can just order on the kiosk. You want to order there. If you don't want to wait forever, you should order on your phone 15 minutes before you get there. But some people order on the kiosks. I've never done that, but you can do it. There's a bunch of seating towards the bottom, but not enough. We'll get to that later. And there's like a bagging area where runners basically run to all these like sub restaurants within Upstein to get food. They bag them and then they put it in that pickup area. Everybody waits in front of that pickup area for their food, looking for their number, right? There's also, I didn't draw this, but there's also a screen where you can track the progress of your order by number. And the screen is accurate for what it is worth. Okay, so here's some issues with Upstein, right? The food from the Chinese section, I noticed this the other day. I didn't even notice this until the other day. The food from the Chinese section of Global Eats comes out of the kitchen already bagged, right? So something to understand about Upstein is when they finish a piece of food in the kitchen, like they finish an order. I don't know why I said piece of food. When they finish an order in the kitchen, right, they put it in like basically the box the food comes in, like a takeout box sort of thing. They just put it up top with the name of the kid that ordered it, and then runners take it and bag it up and then put it on the shelf. Yeah, that's the method. But the food from the Chinese section of Global Eats comes out of the kitchen already bagged. So if you're a runner and you're lazy, you're always just going to pick the Chinese food because you don't have to bag it. You can just send it right to the front. It's like, it's that part is efficient. But the problem with that is if Chinese, like people that order Chinese food are getting their food on average way before, especially people that order Mexican food. I noticed this yesterday because I waited dead ass an hour for like my burrito. And I realized people that were quite literally 100 orders after me, because that's how busy this place gets. They were 100 orders after me, and they got their Chinese food before I got my burrito. My burrito was sitting up there for a fucking minute, but it just wasn't taken because this is a bad system. There's a lot of traffic flow problems and like crowding. Like if we go back to you got to preview a little bit. I don't know how Google Slides works. Give me a second. How do I open this? What the fuck? I just exited the presentation. Anyway, sorry, I'm doing this in one take. I don't care enough about this video to make it good. Okay, some issues. Yeah, back to this. The traffic flow problems. If you remember from the layout, the pickup area is like smushed right in between the seating and the fountain drinks, right? So a lot of people crowd there. And that's a problem anyway, because it's kind of just hard to get to your food, and you see it's called. If it's really busy, there will be a big crowd. They say 3's a crowd. There's like 10 crowds. You know what I'm saying? And the other problem that creates is you always bump into people trying to get like your fountain beverage, because that's also our next pickup area. The crowds are there. It's always super crowded by the bev area, even though there's only like 2 people getting bevs. It's just bad. Crowding. It's a problem. There's also almost always limited seating. Very, very common. You just don't find a place to sit because Upstein's super popular. Dead ass, sometimes there are no free seats. Every single seat is taken sometimes. So sometimes you plan to eat there, but you can't. You got to take it somewhere else. And made first does not equal received first. There is very little correlation. In fact, I touched on that with my experience yesterday, but that has been a constant throughout my experience in eating at Upstein. So those are the main problems I have with Upstein that I want to address. Here is what I believe is a better layout for Upstein and a much more common sense layout. So these stars are pickup areas, like Grubhub pickup areas. Basically, what I think should happen is I think we should eliminate the runners. They are the reason Upstein is inefficient. Almost 100%. It is because of that big ass running table that takes up half the space and because the runners are inefficient. A better system would be to have a pickup table at each little sub restaurant, and they operate like the Chinese part of Global Eats. Like they just they finish it in the kitchen, they bag it, they put it on the shelf. Ideally, they can reach the shelf from the kitchen. I don't know if that would be feasible because I don't know if you'd be able to like build in a big enough shelf like that. Sorry, I accidentally rotated my phone sideways. I don't know if you'd be able to build in a big enough shelf like that, so maybe have it right outside, or they can just step out the kitchen for a second, put it there. Either way, way more efficient than the runner system, right? Absolutely more efficient. And then that compounds, right? You got seating in the middle because the runners are gone. You gotta have more seating. So what does this fix? We have a uniform system across all sub restaurants. It's not. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention: VegCraft. If you order from VegCraft, they already have their own pickup location. So this already works. It's just only in one of the little sub restaurants for some fucking reason. So we have a uniform system. It's not three different systems where VegCraft's on its own system, the Chinese place is in its own system, and then all the other places are operating on the same system. There's the same system across all sub restaurants. Runner bias, and what I mean by that is like them picking up the Chinese orders first because they're already bagged. Runner bias plays no role in when food comes out. It's all on the kitchen. And from what I've noticed, the dudes in the kitchen are pretty much units. They work pretty fast. Food, they push food. They get it pushing. It's not their fault that Upstein is slow. If food just came out right when they made it, Upstein would be pretty fast, I think. More dispersed crowds because there are small individual crowds of, well, like we said, 3's a crowd. Instead of 10 crowds all at once, it's a crowd and a half at each one of the, 5 people at each one of those pickup locations. Probably less. So you're going to have way less crowding. The fountain drinks are going to be free. I'm not going to run into people anymore. I'm always freaking out. I'm going to like run into somebody, spill my drink. That's like my worst nightmare. That'd be so embarrassing. I'm not going to have to worry about that anymore. Greatly expanded seating. I estimate they'd be about to, whoa, holy fuck. They'd be able to have seating be about 150 to 170% of what it is now. Just like a good guesstimation, but it might be even higher than that. That's a conservative guess. Because that fucking pickup table is huge. It takes up so much spot. There could be so many tables there. So much space. So many tables there. There's no middleman. Reduced wait times. Once again, it's just going to come out of the kitchen immediately. Once the kitchen has done bagging it, you can pick it up. You're not going to have to wait for the runners to putz around and bag it. Reduced wait times equals a reduced crowd, right? Because less people are waiting for their shit. That also means they're going to be in and out faster, which means there's going to be even more available seating. Because what people do is they get to Upstein, they see a seat, they're like, oh, I'm going to save that. They put their backpack there. So then half the seats are taken by people that are still waiting for their food. There's going to be less of that. So that's even better. Like I said, the shit compounds. That's my plan for Upstein. Anyway, thanks for watching. Shout out Jim Feist.